Today on the CTV News at 5, police release more details in Lethbridge's 5th traffic fatality of the year. Plus, a flipped welding truck causes traffic chaos. And a few good men and women are needed to enroll in Alberta's largest ever cancer health study.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. It was another deadly long weekend on Alberta highways.
The RCMP responded to 10 fatal collisions in RCMP jurisdictions. That does not include Calgary, Edmonton, Lethbridge, those areas as well. So 10 fatalities, at least 3 of those alcohol related.
Extra police officers were on duty cracking down. 15 impaired driving charges were laid. Nearly 3,000 speeders were given tickets. Despite the 10 deaths, officials say highway fatalities are actually dropping in Alberta. Now, one of those fatal accidents happened southwest of Lethbridge just last night. A pickup truck failed to negotiate a corner and rolled just before 5 o'clock near the St. Mary Dam area. The driver, 40-year-old Joseph Ironshirt from Fort Macleod, was pronounced dead on the scene. The 4 passengers, including a 5-year-old boy, were rushed to Lethbridge Hospital, and one was taken by Stars to Calgary. Meanwhile, speed and alcohol are believed to be factors in the collision. Police continue to investigate the incident. And Lethbridge Regional Police have released the name of the victim of the city's 5th traffic fatality of the year. Yesterday morning, an SUV was heading east on Parkside Drive south when it veered off the road, sheared off a light standard, and crashed head-on into a tree. 22-year-old Ashley Negray from Lethbridge was the only person in the vehicle. She was treated at the scene but did not survive. Police are continuing to investigate whether speed or alcohol were factors. And we now know the name of the victim of a fatal crash in the Crow's Nest Pass on Canada Day. It was a 52-year-old woman from Lethbridge. A pickup truck carrying the 5 people crashed head-on at the Adnac Road southwest of Hillcrest Mines and rolled. 4 people were injured. 2 women were transported by Stars to hospital in Calgary, while 2 men suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still investigating, but they think that alcohol was likely a factor. Meanwhile, a 24-year-old woman and a 23-year-old man are recovering from serious head and pelvic injuries after a crash in the East Kootenay on Friday. The accident happened on Highway 393 when an SUV heading west was pulled over to the side of the roadway and was trying to make a U-turn in heavy traffic at the bottom of Steamboat Hill. The SUV collided with the truck and fifth-wheel RV trailer while attempting the U-turn. 2 others were taken to hospital with minor injuries. And traffic on Highway 3 entering Lethbridge from the west was backed up for several hours today, all because of this, an accident with a welding truck. The welding truck was pulling a trailer, went out of control, and rolled in the grass median. Fortunately, no one was injured. Eastbound traffic was reduced to just 1 lane, and police closed off the Highway 3 access ramp from West Lethbridge while the area was cleaned up and the vehicles were towed away. The man responsible for a West Lethbridge bank robbery will spend the next 4 years behind bars. 49-year-old Brady Elder was sentenced today in Lethbridge Provincial Court. Police say on May 28th, Elder fled the Westside Scotiabank with an undisclosed amount of money after telling employees that he had a weapon. He was later involved in a minor collision in downtown Lethbridge and arrested at the scene. Lethbridge Regional Police have released the name of a Calgary man charged in a couple of Canada Day stabbings. 2 17-year-old Lethbridge men were stabbed near Spitz Stadium during a fight as July 1st celebrations wrapped up. The stab wounds weren't life-threatening. Police arrested 18-year-old Cody Arena a short distance from the ballpark. Arena will appear in court tomorrow. Dory Rossiter, some crazy wind warnings and also reports of a possible tornado in the Didsbury area too.
Yeah, exactly, Jackie. These watches and warnings are very fluid right now. We did pick up the wind here, so we're in wind warning. Rain warnings are to the north of the province and into Saskatchewan. They have pretty much confirmed that a tornado has developed out of a thundercell just southwest of Outlook, Saskatchewan. So yeah, a lot of wild and wacky weather out there, and we'll try to keep you up to date in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Dory. Well, the largest cancer health study ever undertaken in Alberta is still looking for Southern Albertans who wish to enroll. Staff from the Tomorrow Project are back in Lethbridge this week, gathering health information from local residents who are willing to take part in the long-term study. By the end of next year, researchers are hoping to enroll 50,000 Albertans between the ages of 35 and 69 who've never had cancer. They'll have collected blood, measurements taken, and respond to a questionnaire. The information will be used to help find new ways of preventing cancer and other long-term health conditions.
Because we're trying to find the connection between lifestyle and cancer. So we will track the people for 50 years or until they turn 85, whichever comes first. And then we'll compare the two groups, look at the group that develops cancer versus the group that doesn't, and see what the differences are there.
Well, I just think it's important that we have research in order for people to do, to find more medical results and answers for people. So I think it's important to be a part of that.
The Tomorrow Project will be in Lethbridge until Saturday. Anyone interested in taking part has to pre-register. If you miss this opportunity, the team will be returning to Lethbridge in October. Well, wedding planning has become extra stressful for more than a dozen brides-to-be who had booked with a local events company that suddenly closed its doors. But another local company is stepping up to try and help the ladies plan their special days. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
So what are your colors, Carmen? My colors are green and purple.
Carmen Esselink is getting married next weekend. To avoid wedding planning stress, she's had everything organized for months and even paid for most of it already. A couple of days ago, one of the companies she had booked with called with bad news.
I got a phone call at 8:30 saying, due to unfortunate circumstances, the store Gold Leaf Events has been closed, and so we're not going to be able to help you out with your wedding.
The owner of Gold Leaf Events, 31-year-old Brandy Vanden Hengel, pleaded guilty to charges of theft, fraud, and uttering a forged document. In June, she was sentenced to 13 months in jail. The store has since closed.
When I have all the details in my head and something comes crashing down, like, it was horrible.
Esselink got a cash refund but was left scrambling to find decorations for her wedding. When another local events company heard about the closure, they stepped up.
We knew that, oh my goodness, if you were to get that news a few weeks or a few days before your wedding, that you would be just panicking and totally stressed out.
Pink Tie Events is helping more than a dozen people affected by the closure. They helped one frantic bride fill the gaps in her plans days before her wedding. The company was run out of a basement a few years ago and flourished because of community support. Owners say they want to help local ladies make their weddings perfect.
We love to give back any way we can and help out brides.
Esselink says she's relieved to have her wedding plans set again so she can concentrate on getting excited for her big day.
It'll be the day I get to marry Jeremy, and it'll be fabulous.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Pink Tie Events is trying to accommodate anyone affected by the closure and has already warned suppliers that there might be last-minute bookings. You can contact them at 403-327-3494. Love, romance, male dominance, and controlling parents. The issues are timeless and as relevant today as they were in the mid-1500s when Shakespeare wrote A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Farewell, thou love of spirits, I'll be gone.
Shakespeare returns to Galt Gardens this week with outdoor performances that run every Thursday and Friday night until August the 10th. The production features actors from the University of Lethbridge theater program, playgoers of Lethbridge, and other community actors and dancers. A Midsummer Night's Dream is one of Shakespeare's most popular works and is widely performed around the world.
But yeah, it has a rich history and it plays really well. Shakespeare, when it was written for everybody. It was written for the common people. It wasn't. It's only in the last few hundred years that it's drifted into the tweedy little English departments.
But there's something about being outside and not having the limitations of a stage, and it just adds some kind of life element to it, I guess. And it's really interesting to just see the difference.
The performances are expected to run around 90 minutes. The first production goes Friday at 7 p.m. at the Amphitheater in downtown Galt Gardens. Admission's free, but audience members are encouraged to bring lawn chairs and a blanket. Switching gears now, wooden grain elevators used to serve as welcoming signs for nearly every prairie town. Many have been torn down, but Nanton's elevator stands to connect people with the past. Mike LeBlanc has more on this week's Farm TV.
Wooden grain elevators. There was a time when every small town on the prairies had at least 2 or 3 of them. Today, they are nearly all gone, replaced by large grain terminals. Summer visitors to the town of Nanton, Alberta, Canada, have the opportunity to not only see several elevators, but take a tour of this one, operated by the Canadian Grain Elevator Discovery Centre.
This elevator was built in 1929 by an independent grain company. It was built with an original capacity of 56,000 bushels.
The elevator, which was built by a hand, operated until 2001. In 2004, renovations started to turn it into the museum, which opened in 2010.
One of the things that a lot of people seem to be fairly excited about is actually going inside what used to be the grain bins, because even people who used to work here back when it was still a grain elevator, they'd never seen the inside of a grain bin. In the bins we have a variety of items that would have been common on farms and in houses during the early days of the elevator. Things like dairy equipment, laundry equipment, different kitchen supplies.
There are plenty of other displays on hand inside the elevator. Visitors can see many of the products made from grain, while kids can grind wheat into flour and are given a container of dirt, shown how to plant and water several different grain seeds, which they can take home with them, growing their own plants.
Farm TV is brought to you by DA Building Systems.
Thanks, Mike. And to the financial markets now, where numbers rebounded. Here's a look at the day's data.